Hi
Okay.
again.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Here we are
Here
on
we
Zoom
are
again, but thank you
on
for being
Zoom again.
flexible. I
Yep,
appreciate it.
same. So, we're here to talk about something I know you're super passionate about. And I think I am too. But I'm so excited because you were the one that came up with this idea.
Wonderful. I want to talk about the ICE budget explosion due to
Yeah.
the big, beautiful, ugly bill that was signed on July 4th. You and I have been very passionate talking about protesting immigration policies and everything with ICE. So the big ugly bill, which is what I like to call it,
Yep, me
that
too.
basically skyrocketed ICE's bill or ICE's budget.
Yep.
And now this basically enforcement branch of the United States government is prepared to have a budget larger than a small country.
And
And
isn't it larger than, aren't they poised to be larger than our military?
yes, larger than our military spending. And that's probably what concerns me the most
Yeah.
because this has an odor of Gestapo, of the Nazi SS. This is basically his enforcement branch
Yep.
that he has just poof out of nowhere. They are hiring, it means they're hiring more ICE agents who wear masks
Yep.
and paramilitary uniforms and do not identify themselves, which it, don't even
Well,
don't even start me on that.
we literally talked about this with Kilmer Obrego Garcia and our
Yeah.
birthright, citizenship conversation that we just had a couple weeks ago. So check out that video. But we talked about all this, and it's crazy. We're new to doing this, and I never thought that we would get to a point that we are revisiting things that we had kind of foreshadowed before. And that's what's crazy to me is that we knew that this was a slippery slope and that we were scared about these things. And now that
Yeah.
scared attitude is starting to come to a bigger fruition. And I don't know what to do about that because you
Yeah.
have I mean, I'm proud of the Democrats for all standing strong, and we didn't have any, Joe Manchins or, any of that
Right.
kind of shenanigans happen
They
this
didn't
time.
waver. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Republicans, yeah, thank you for the couple that didn't vote for it, but the ones that did are just they should be ashamed of themselves,
I
saying
feel
that,
it was kind of performative. I
yeah,
feel like a lot of the drama that was being reported was about them putting on a show for their constituents that they would, resist.
yeah,
And when it really came down to it, they did exactly what Daddy Trump wanted.
yeah,
And that makes me angry.
totally. Well, and they were just
Um,
being so like untrue about it, and saying things like, oh, well, we passed it in the House. We hope that they fix it in the Senate, or we passed it in the Senate. We hope that they fix it in the House, which neither did. You had little Mike
yeah,
Johnson, being super daddy Trump, whatever he wanted,
yeah,
and it just became disgusting. And
yeah,
now we're stuck with this bill that is going to inflate, ICE is going to take funding away from Medicaid, and it's all put in a way that is so diabolical because
it
some of
is.
those things don't start until after the midterms, so that if they don't win, they can blame Democrats. And that is it just blows my mind. And I know that he's going to get away with it because people believe his lies. When
Yeah.
you can point back to the fact that not a single Democrat voted for this, yet when this starts to happen, they're going to blame Democrats for all of it. And I just don't even know how that jives.
And US citizens were against this. almost everyone I spoke to, whether they were MAGA, Republican, Trump supporter, or not, they were against this bill. This bill was basically being forced down their throat.
Yeah.
And now we have a situation where ICE is going to explode and become an even bigger presence. And I read a fact today that 72% of the people that are being held in these detention centers do not have any criminal background. No criminal background. They are arbitrarily picking up people because of skin color, last name, and where they work. That's it. And
Well, and
now
I,
they have an enforcement arm
yep,
that is supercharged.
yep.
And we've got a president who is talking about deporting Rosie O'Donnell
Ugh,
and Zohran Mamdani
that's
and anybody else
literally,
who
yeah, it's literally just him throwing things out there to try to distract. He's just trying to distract because he knows how unpopular this bill is. So the whole Rosie O'Donnell thing was just an attempt to him, and I don't even think that's a good attempt to try to throw some
no, but
red
the
meat at his
fact
base.
remains
I know.
she's a woman who does have US citizenship.
Absolutely.
And if he's floating out those types of threats,
Yeah,
at this stage, that's a scary thought. It's a very
total.
scary thought.
There's so many
And
things that he does that are scary.
and these detention centers, the Alligator Alcatraz,
I was just going to bring that up too. I know that we're not going deep into that territory yet,
not yet.
literally. But yeah, alligator
Keep
Alcatraz. I
checking
mean,
back.
yeah, yeah. Check back for us. We'll have a full video about alligator Alcatraz.
Right.
But yeah, it just opens up the door to these crazy things that they're wanting to do and these crazy ideas that they have. And I mean, yeah, touching on alligator Alcatraz for a minute, it's just the stark difference of when Democrats went through it, the Democratic like representatives went through it, and the Republican representatives, what they were saying about it, just so heartless. Oh yeah, they're immigrants, or they should be able to survive. If they don't survive, oh well, an alligator has eaten them. I mean, have we forgotten that we're humans? Have we
Humans.
forgotten the basic like fact of who we all are? It just blows my mind that they don't care about this anymore, and that we're so divided that they care
Yeah.
more about these lies and anybody that they deem as an immigrant, to your point, that sometimes aren't even, they're still US citizens, but they're finding
Right.
ways to kind of put them in this category, and it's just horrible.
They're completely slashing the Department of Education, and they are uh falling on their flat on their face with FEMA. And then we've got a skyrocketing budget being handed over to basically make this a police state.
Yeah. And
That's
when you
how
talk
I see
about
it.
FEMA, the thing I immediately go to, and I know we weren't, I actually don't even want to have a sole topic about this, but the devastation
No.
in Texas,
Yeah.
and it's like, in a time like that, you know, FEMA has to be involved. That's exactly what FEMA is there for. When people are dying because of natural disasters, and climate change that nobody wants to agree with.
Exactly.
It's just crazy to me. Well, and that's the other thing that this bill does. So it takes away funding from, the different sciences and the different climate change and, different
Yes.
efforts like that are scary because you don't
Medical
even need
research
to,
and
yeah,
yeah,
you don't need to
so many things.
rely on any political data. You could just look at the pure fact of how often tornadoes are happening, floods are happening, and you can draw a conclusion. Any person with any kind of like basic math skills can look at that and go, look at how much that's increased. There's obviously a reason why that's increasing. And if you want to deny that it's climate, then give me another reason. Tell me why that, because you can't deny the fact that we've had a lot more floods, a lot more tornadoes, natural disasters are happening a lot more. Are you
Oh
just
yeah.
comfortable with the fact that that's just who we are and that's just what the country is going to be dealing with, or the world?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even Trump said himself that what happened in Texas was once in 1,000 years. Well, it's happening in New Mexico too, once in a
Yeah.
thousand years. It's happening like all over the country. I saw a map today. There was like 1,172 flood warnings issued just for today.
Well, and
Now,
and and I don't even know how you get that information when they're letting go of all the meteorologists. So I
yeah.
mean, when you let go of all of them, just like they let go of all of um the flight,
Oh, the FAA,
yeah,
the air controllers. Yeah.
the air traffic controllers, it's
Yeah.
just what all of these guardrails that we had to keep us safe seem to be flying off. And I mean, I know we're going off into tangents, and I'm sorry, but like, don't even get me started on RFK and all the
That's
craziness
okay.
that exists
No,
with
I
that.
mean,
And man,
yeah, the fact that this big ugly bill was passed and we haven't dug into it yet, but that might be it's probably not going to hit for a couple years,
yeah,
but this
by
ice,
design.
correct, because they want to get votes before this kicks in. But the fact that they are focusing everything on ice right now, on immigration and building these concentration camps, and using January 6th, uh, Proud Boys, Oath Keepers to fill these ICE positions and to pay these people
It's
who are
ridiculous.
racist, Nazi, uh, loyalists. It just it hurts my heart. There are people I care about who have lived in this country for 18, 20, 25 years who are in the system and are documented, but are scared for their livelihood. They're here on work visas and they go to work and go home, go to work and go home.
I don't blame them. They don't
I
want to take any chances of getting picked up by
No
ICE.
chances. They're
Yeah,
very, very scared because of who they are and what they look like. And
yeah.
that's just something that I'm very, very, very passionate, and my heart is just hurting because of all of this. And we don't know what's going to happen 6 months to a year down the road. Um, but yeah, I wanted to bring this topic up today and I wanted to talk about it because I don't think people really understand that we are going to we're flirting with having a martial law situation,
I know.
and we need to keep up the peaceful protests. I'm doing everything within my realm of influence to make a difference and to help people find things that they're passionate about with regards to this administration and to stay informed. And
Well, the
that's
other
why we
thing
do this.
too, yeah, the other thing too that, I know we're really focused on the ICE part of this big ugly bill. The other
Hmm.
thing too is the very unrealistic no tax on tips. The
Yeah,
fact that it says that they're not going to tax Social Security, which it doesn't get taxed already. So that's just a
yeah,
flat out lie.
yeah,
But yeah, the no tax on tips is capped at what, 12,000? That if you
yeah.
make anything the more than 12,000, you then have to pay tax. It retroactively then makes you pay the taxes.
Right.
So who's going to qualify for that? So it's really just I feel like they're doing it just to be able to say that they've done something, even if
It's a
it doesn't
talking
affect.
point. Yep.
Yeah,
That's all it is. It's a banner that they can wave that says, "Oh, see, we're taking care of you."
yeah.
Not really. Not really. Um,
Meanwhile, they're lowering taxes on the highest earners. So
mhm.
I don't even know. I mean, Bernie Sanders had a plan for how he was, and even AOC, how they were going to do like the new Green Deal. I've had some people tell me that they could never support AOC because of the new Green Deal. But at
Mm,
least, and you can be critical of that and you can maybe not agree with it.
right.
Whatever, I agree with it. I think it's perfectly fine. But they had a plan of how they were going to pay for it. They had to literally increase some of the taxes by a small amount that would help
Midgens.
pay for a lot of these programs that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it's just sad that they're pretending to be for the working good and for the working class. They're not. They're not for
No.
unions. They're not for nobody benefits from any of this. It's
No.
literally going to make our economy shrink, our economy crash.
Yes.
Every time that he dangles the trade wars that he has not been able to deliver on, and I know we haven't talked about that, and we're going to talk about that sometime in the
We
future.
have to
You
talk
know,
about that
the markets
sometime.
crash, and it's just what the hell is this guy doing? He's the worst president we've ever had, and he's the worst person I think any of us in modern history has known. I mean, to
Yeah.
me, he ranks up there with Hitler, and it's just the worst. You know what I mean? And I'm not alone.
Oh,
His own vice president said that, so
yeah. I think that Trump makes Nixon look like a choir boy.
I mean, at this point, I'd take Nixon because at least he had civility, and at least
Yeah,
he went on and admitted that he did wrong. I mean, Trump he would never
not
admit
a
that he does
crook.
anything wrong. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
exhausting.
You know what? You said, what are they doing? And I have one of these gut feelings. I believe that they are trying to crash the current system so that they can go in and privatize everything
Mhm.
and profit. Privatizing means profit. You've got all of these oligarchy uh, people that have funneled money into Trump being in charge because his base was so strong. The only way that they will profit from this investment is by privatizing prisons, privatizing investments for Medicare and Social Security, privatizing the things that
Yeah,
are our social services. And that's my gut feeling. And
yeah. I
the
think you're right.
more I see him doing this, the more I feel that that's the end game.
I I think you're right, and I really hope that something intervenes and that something changes that. I don't know
Well,
what that is. I don't, hopefully it's the midterms. I don't know what it is, but he's moving so quickly and he's getting so much done. Although I do think he's losing his mind, like we had talked about with that
yeah,
crazy truther that he put out
yeah.
today. You know, what was it? I have
Oh,
to read it. I have to read it
please
because
do.
it makes no sense at all. So let me find it. So Trump today said on Truth Social, victory. Last night, the Rules Committee, chaired by Virginia Fox, voted not to allow an amendment proposed by Jim Baldy McGovern to some legal thing that would have forced the Attorney General, the lovely Pam Bondi, to preserve and release any records related to Jeffrey Epstein. Nobody wants to see that stuff. There is nothing to see there. These aren't the droids that you were looking for. And even if I am in the Epstein files, did he just admit that?
Yes.
MAGA agrees that 14-year-old girls are almost women anyways. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, that's the president of the United States saying that. That is insane. I think if a
Even
CEO of
if
a
I
company
were
would say that,
in,
they'd get fired. How does
yeah,
our president get away saying that? He has to be losing his marbles right now in order to think that that's appropriate to say, oh, it's okay to have sex with 14-year-old girls. What?
because MAGA believes it. They don't believe it or they wouldn't be fighting him.
No. Well, I feel like that was a really heavy note to say
Ah,
our goodbyes.
okay, so we're gonna tell everybody right now, thank you for watching. Subscribe, click like, share it with your friends, and
Please.
come back next one.
Yeah, we're doing our best. Please comment, tell us what you like, what you don't like. We've been really lucky. We've had some really great comments. We haven't had too many MAGAs hating on us. I'm sure they'll
Good.
come as we get more popular. I'm sure that's going to start to happen. But please comment, please
Just like
like,
my
please
dating
subscribe.
profile.
Just like your dating profile, exactly. Shout out to that second video that we did about your MAGA divorce.
My mega
Um,
divorce.
but yeah, I mean, with that, I would love, to say goodbye. And, I hope to see everybody back. And, we'll have some more videos and some more fun coming up in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
Billy.